When I went into the pastoral or ministry church, this is what I asked God. I asked God that I'll dream for the world. I asked for the world. I didn't ask for a big church in Uganda. No, I asked for the world. That's what I asked for. And there's a law in the universe that is providing for that reality. Every other day, I am touching the world. I'm the first Ugandan to be on TBN, East African and North Africa. I'm the first Ugandan to be on God TV. I'm the first Ugandan to be on an Indian television. I'm the first. I'm the first. But you see, my head here, when you enter this head right here, it's not thinking of building a big church. No, I have a message for the world, and something is telling me every other day I am providing for that vision and its interpretation. People in this room listening to me, you might not even be owning your business right now. Perhaps you might be a faithful worker, a clerk, a supervisor in your workplace, or wherever God has called you to be. But I want to provoke your spirit to dream, and dream for the world. Somebody shout hallelujah. If you go technical, there will always be a guy outside in the world who is more technical than you are. Yes, if you want to apply your science and physics, there'll always be somebody more scientific than you are. But there's something about the language that is supposed to make the Christian different. And soon I'm preaching this even in my home church, but let me give you a clue. You see, did I say languages are dimensional? Languages are dimensional. Your Hebrew, like I said, is 9, Latin is 8, Greek Koine is 7, Aramaic is, which is your Arabic, right? Is 6, and it goes on and on and on and on and on and on. So you have the lethargic languages in the world, which are one side, and then you have the pragmatic languages in the world, which are the other. The pragmatic either borrow from the lethargic because they are 1 or 2 dimensional. You understand what I'm saying? The lethargic define the world. They define the world, and you must understand it. Why do you think Arabic gave us numeros, Arabic numeros? That means before the Arabs came, many a time some of us did not know how to even count. Are you following? Algorithm, it's Arabic. But you are designing a computer language with your algorithm, but you don't know that there's a language that facilitated algorithm. That is why a pragmatic language could not build a 4-story building, because they don't have the engineering language. Are you following? So in God splitting these languages, many of them were melted down. For the purpose then, your physics is limited, and some of you don't respect the power that took you to school. The power that took you to school was to elevate your pragmatic language into and connect you to the rest of the lethargic languages and their creations. If you got your mom or brother or auntie who didn't go to school, and then you told them, use a computer, they will not understand, because they never had the opportunity to separate your software and your hardware. They never had the opportunity to know how a computer works and how the keyboard is set and why this is F1 and F2 and why it's escape. They don't know the control alt delete. They don't know the shortcuts of a computer. They cannot understand the operating system and how it works. But to know that there is one man in the world who does not know how a computer works, and there's another man in the world who is creating a computer and that software, is amazing. Look at that chasm. That world of difference. And the difference between these two men is language. And because many of you are Asians, like you are Africans, we are more progressively learning from the other languages. We find that the inventions and innovations that we do are only progressively learned as we are adjusting to the languages that are given. That is why when you say you're going to translate the Bible from the Hebrew to your Telugu text, it means the more you translate, because there are words in Hebrew that you cannot translate in Telugu or my Luganda. You agree? For example, Who knows the word Zoe? Zoe is what? That's Greek, right? How do you say Zoe in your language? You'll find yourself making a statement, interpreting it. You'll find yourself translating it in the interpretation. You'll find yourself saying, the life of God. You see, but you have no word. And this word is only 3 letters. But if I told you to translate it, you'll find yourself making a statement of what to the Jew, or Greek, sorry, is 1 word. That means you are limited in function, that what he does for 1 word, you will need 8 or 9 syllables. Spiritually, you're slower. And whether you believe it or not, there's certain intricate words in language that you are not able to understand and interpret. There's certain concepts that you're not able to understand. So does that shock you why Bill Gates is Jew? Or why Zuckerberg is Jew? You understand what I'm saying? I saw an Israeli recently, he designed headphones that are wireless and not connected to anything, and neither are they. Let me explain. He connects this system on a TV, and it sends sound to you, yet you're not wearing anything. Anything. And it can direct, it has an omnidirectional capability of sending that sound only to you, that the person next to you cannot hear anything. And the guy who designs it is Jew. I don't get shocked. I don't get shocked. How long did it take India to enter? I think the third industrial revolution has happened in India through technology, isn't it? But you have come third. So there are 2 more industrial revolutions that have happened before you. And the 4th industrial revolution has been confirmed to happen in Africa. But why did Africa come fourth? Why weren't we the first? Language. Language. It took a unique language. I've seen Indian buildings, those old things. I've studied your old buildings that are built with such science. And it's amazing. But you can't find such buildings in Africa because we didn't have the language to build a building with clay and make it storied. Somebody had to bring engineering from another country to bring it in my nation. You see what I'm saying? So you have a richer language than my language. You follow what I'm saying? Now, the Bible came to give us a language. So when God says you shall be the head and not the tail, it can only be translated by the power of language. You must be able to connect to some interpretation in the spirit realm, as was at work in Joseph, to be able to have a unique interpretation of life. Because, like I said, it's all in the power of language and the interpretation of that language to the world of men. What Joseph did for Pharaoh was just interpret. The vision was of Pharaoh, but Joseph interpreted it. It's called the law of translation. The power that gets the things that are in the spirit and brings them to the physical realm. You either know it or you don't. All these other processes that we go through in the earth are all following that law. And it doesn't matter how many visions and ideas you have in your head, if you don't know how to appropriate it, you'll never be able to manifest what you have in your spirit. That's why many people die with dreams and they're not able to translate them into the world. Firstly, because even the vision is small, but too many of them are not attached to the purpose of that vision. The Bible says all things work together for good to them that love the Lord. But number 2, underline this in capital and italicize it or bold it. to those who are called according to his purposes. Have you found purpose in this thing you call business? Yet. Have you found